everyone, and welcome back to another video. I love a good tier list video. I don't know if that's like an unpopular opinion, but if you put a tier list video in front of me, if it's about any topic, I will watch it beginning to end, no questions asked. Which is why today I wanted to make a tier list video, but I wanted to put my own spin on it. I didn't want to do like a normal like ranking all the truly me's or ranking all the girl of the years. So I thought, what better way to put my own twist on one of these tier list videos than to rank my own dolls. I just want to say I love all the dolls in my collection, otherwise they would not be in my collection. I've sold dolls before and I wouldn't hesitate to sell another doll if I wasn't connecting with that doll. So I just wanted like everyone to know, if a doll is in D tier, that doesn't mean I like hate them. It just means that compared to like all my other dolls, they're just not as important. I don't know. Don't hate me if I put a doll in D tier. I love all my dolls, okay? Now, without talking too much in the beginning of the video, because I know I will probably ramble a lot in this video, let's get into the rankings. So the first doll that we have to rank is Madison, obviously. She's like the very first doll in my collection. Without her, none of this would be possible. Like, super fun dolls just wouldn't exist. So she's pretty cool for that, you know, creating this. I think just because she's my first doll, I'm gonna have to give her S tier. I mean, you know, she's kind of important. She's important to me. She's important to all of you because you wouldn't be watching this right now. So yeah, everyone thank Madison for the creation of super fun dolls. She created this channel by herself with her own plastic hands. So good for her. Next up, we have Leonie. I love Leonie. Leonie is a doll that I kind of bought on a whim because I was getting back into like dolls and I was like, I want another American Girl doll. So I went on like Kijiji or something and Leonie was like the only doll for like a cheap-ish price that was in good condition. So I just was like, okay, I'll get that one. But it ended up being kind of interesting because that eventually 37, the doll that Leonie is, somehow along the lines turned into my favorite Truly Me doll. Like, I love 37 so much. Personality wise, she's the doll that's the most like me. She's a cheerleader. She likes wearing like bright colors. She likes playing video games. Because of that, I have always connected really well with Leonie, I think. And she's one of my favorite dolls. Like, I don't know what to say. She's going in S tier. There's like nothing else that needs to be said about it. Next up is Bryn. Now, Bryn was a gift from my mom after I went through a really, really hard time. She sort of got her for me and was like, hey, like, you survived that. And, like, you're really brave. And, like, that's really cool kind of gift. I love Bryn for that exact reason because she just has that sort of sentimental value. She was my favorite doll for a good amount of time up until getting another doll that you will see later. I used to love Bryn. I used to take so many pictures of her. She used to go places with me. I really wanted Grace back when she came out in 2015, but we just couldn't afford her at the time, which is another reason why I'm really glad I have her in my collection, because she's a doll I really wanted as a kid, but just couldn't get. I just don't connect with her as much as I used to, I guess. So I think because of that, I'm going to put her in A tier, because she's still a really good doll, and she's still very important to me, but I just, like, I don't know. That connection used to be very strong, but now it's, like, not as much there. Now it's Levi. Now, if we were on a certain social media app that I'm not going to name in the year 2019, this would be quite the controversy. Oh my god. Because he was kind of well known on a certain social media app that I'm not going to name. And because of that, I think I just didn't like him as much after a while. I got a lot of questions all the time on like posts that were like, oh, where's Levi? Like, you should post Levi again. What happened to Levi? And I was like, nothing happened to him. I just want to post my other dolls. And I think because of that, that connection that used to be very, very strong kind of stopped being very, very strong. And there was a point in time where I absolutely hated him. I was like, I hate Levi so much. Get that doll away from me. As of lately, I've started to really like him again. He's kind of the reason why me and one of my like best internet friends, Aradia or Podollies on Instagram, are such good friends, because we created this joke together of Leo having this twin brother that was like just like her, but like a lot more calm. And then Levi was born. And ever since then, we've just sort of been like working together on creating his personality and he's like dating one of her dolls and all of that. So I think because he plays such an important role in like my friendship with Aradia, and I don't think we would be as close as we are right now without him. For that reason alone, I'm going to put him in S tier, but also I do really like him, so that's another reason why he's going in S tier. Now, Noelle. Noelle is interesting because Nellie was my dream doll ever since I was a little kid, and I found her on Facebook Marketplace with like a bunch of clothes for like $50 in her full maid outfit and everything, and I was like, oh my god, I am not gonna pass up on this deal. So we were at a cheer competition when I found her, and I remember we were on our way home from the cheer competition, and we stopped at some like random Tim Hortons to pick up this doll, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I finally have Nellie. And then I never touched Noelle ever. So I mean, don't get your dream doll, I guess. I don't know. Now, don't get me wrong, these past few like months or so, Noelle has been really growing on me. Like, I've been doing a lot more with them. I do want to take pictures of them, but it's so gross outside right now. I don't really want to take pictures of anyone. But yeah, I think as of lately, Noelle's been really, really growing on me, which is why I'm going to put them in A tier. Because not only were they my dream doll, but also they're like really, really, really getting close to being like one of my like S tier dolls in my mind. Next up is Emmy. Now, Emmy currently has no wig. I don't think I've taken pictures of Emmy since these pictures were taken in 2019. Do I love Emmy? Yes, I do. She was a gift from my dad, which is very, crazy because he's not very supportive of my doll collection. So it was really nice when he got me a doll. She's very cute. She was my very first Welly Wisher, which sort of started this like obsession with Welly Wishers, and now I want to collect all of them. So that's something. As much as I love, Emerson, the doll, and I love Welly Wishers, I think I'm gonna have to put her in D tier. And I know that's really bad, but yeah. Shiloh. Shiloh is a doll that I bought because at the time, Levi didn't have blonde hair. So at the time, I didn't have any blonde dolls, and I kind of wanted a blonde doll. I don't know why. Something inside of me was like, you should get a blonde doll, and I was like, okay. Originally, I was gonna get Just Like You number 22, but they didn't have her when I went to the store. So I got Shiloh instead, because she looks very similar. Do I kind of regret getting her? Yes. I love her. I think she's a very pretty doll. I think she's, very nice. It's just, I don't use her very much. She has the white back eyes, so it's kind of hard for me to take pictures of her because her eyes are just like looking down, which can sometimes be a bit of a problem. As much as I love her, I think I'm gonna also have to put her in D tier because I don't know, I don't really have much of a connection with her as much as I do with like all my other dolls. Caden was kind of interesting because he was a doll that I bought on Facebook Marketplace for like $10. He was the cheapest doll I've ever gotten, not including Scarlet, because I got Scarlet for free from a friend, but he was the cheapest doll I've ever gotten. I like him. I really do. He's very much a staple. He's inspired a lot by my little brother when he was younger. He's very cute. When I got him, Levi didn't have a wig at that time, so he was my only boy doll for like a while, which was kind of interesting. I do really like Caden. I don't know if I like him as much as I like, the other two boy dolls in my collection, but I do like Caden. So I think I'm gonna put him in A tier. I know, but I'm like high A tier. Like, he's above Bryn, as much as I hate to say it. Eloise. Eloise is named after Aradia, or Po Dollies. I know, I'm bringing the exact same friend up twice in a video. Wow. Eloise was a gift from my mom. Somehow, while I was at the Alley Cat Loves AG meetup with like a bunch of other sort of Ontario AGIGers, she snuck like into the store and got Eloise for me, and I didn't even like know. So I had been telling her for a while how badly I wanted Nenea. Like, Nenea was one of those dolls that I wanted like the second her leaks came out. I was like, oh my god, I want that doll. And it took a couple years, but I did end up getting Eloise. She's very cute. I don't use her as much as I should, I think. I do really like her. I think she's very photogenic. She is very pretty. And yeah, but I don't know. Just like compared to some of my other dolls, just the connection isn't there. So I think I'm gonna put her in B tier. Claire. Now, I really like Claire. She's named after a Sims YouTuber that I used to watch all the time back when I got her. Definitely in terms of Willy wishers, she's like the one that I've taken the most photos of. She's the one that I've like given the most attention to. I do really, really like her. I know Camille gets a lot of hate as a Willy wisher, but in my opinion, she's like one of my favorites. I might put her in B tier too. Just because, like, yeah, compared to my other Willy wishers, I give her a lot of attention, but like, I don't, maybe C tier? No, I'll put her in B tier. Because I don't know. I love her, and like, I take a lot of photos of her. And, like, compared to my other Willy wishers, she definitely is the one I use the most. But, there isn't a full connection there. Like, most of the time when I take a photo of Claire, it's just because, like, oh, I want to take a picture of a Willy wisher. So I just grab her. You know what I mean? And now, Gwen. Give me a second. Okay, there we go. Willow. Willow is my profile picture. She's kind of, you know, the face of Super Fun Dolls in that way. I love Joss. She's one of my favorite Girl of the Year dolls, and I'm not just saying that because she's a cheerleader with a disability and I'm a cheerleader with a disability. There definitely isn't a bit of bias there towards that. I think she's very pretty. I love her face mold. I think it's like the prettiest, coolest looking face mold. I remember being very, very, very excited when this doll came out because I was like, oh my god, they're making a cheerleader Girl of the Year doll? Like, that is awesome! I do love her. Do I think she's as iconic as all the other dolls in S tier? No, but in my opinion she is, so she's going up in S tier. Next is Scarlett. Now, back when I first got into American Girl, the only doll I wanted was Sage. I was like, oh my god, I want Sage, I need Sage, but unfortunately, American Girl didn't come to Canada until 2014. And Sage was the Girl of the Year for 2013. So by the time American Girl was in Canada, you couldn't get her anymore. And back in the day, my parents had some weird thing against ordering stuff online. They were like, nope, we're not doing it. So I never got my hands on a Sage doll back when she was available. However, my friend who grew out of American Girl knew how badly I wanted a Sage because she knew me at that point in time. And she knew how much I loved her Sage doll. And I spent like every day of my life whenever I went to her house just like staring at this doll being like, oh my god, I want Sage so bad, I need her. So she gave her to me. Because of that, I'm forever grateful because Sage is a very important doll to me in the way that like this was the doll that I wanted. This was the doll that got me into American Girl. It's the same scenario as Noelle pretty much. I wanted this doll so bad, and then I got it, and I don't really do much with her anymore. I mean, this photo of her is like one of my favorite doll photos I've ever taken, I think. It's so just pretty. But other than like taking a really good picture with her, that's like, I don't do much else. I don't think I've taken a photo of Scarlett since I took like this like fall photo shoot that I did with her. I mean, you can see the vlog of it like on my YouTube channel. That was 2 years ago. I don't think I've taken a single photo of Scarlett for 2 years. Because of that, I think I'm gonna put her in, we'll put her in A tier, because I mean, it is Sage. Hello, it is me while editing this. I just realized it's almost 1 a.m. and I should definitely be in bed and doing, you know, other things that normal people do at 1 a.m. and not edit this video. But I just want to quickly say, the part of this video gets really confusing, but after this one part, it's not confusing anymore. Max is a weird doll with a weird backstory that's like, he's not technically supposed to exist yet. It's a whole thing. I kind of describe it in a way that will make sense in the video, but I don't know if I did, so just a heads up. Max is a little bit of an interesting doll because he is inspired by a character that, okay, so long story short, bringing up Aradia again, me and Aradia have this like doll fictional world that we made up forever ago, and it's like, it's not our dolls, but it's like characters that have the same name and like look and are inspired by our dolls. So my doll Gwen is like in this world eventually marries her doll Avery, and they have a kid, which is Max. One day, maybe I'll make a really long video just, like, explaining this in-depth lore that we have for our dolls. Technically, he is related to my favorite doll in my collection. That's what I'm trying to say here. I do really love Max. I think out of my boy dolls, he is my favorite. I love him. I love his personality. He's so just, like, goofy. I don't know where I would put him. I don't know if he's, like, S tier worthy or A tier worthy, but I don't want to put him in B tier. You know what I mean? I'll put him A tier. Yeah. May was a gift that I got for myself because I was having a really bad month, and it kind of sucked because it was in the middle of fall, and I was like, fall is my favorite month. Why are you so depressed? Later figured out why that was happening, but we're not gonna get into that topic because it's a very long story. And so I got myself a doll just as like a little cheer up present, and I named her May Borowski after the main character in my favorite video game, Night in the Woods. You know, she is very important to me in that way, but I don't really do much with her. I really like 58. I think she's a super cute doll. I just don't use May as much as I wish I did, so I think I'm gonna put her in B tier. Now, Layla. Layla has quite the backstory behind her that I'm not going to get into because it is, a story for another day. I'll just put it that way. Let's just say there was a point of time where I got Layla where I thought that she would be the last doll I would ever get. Not because I wanted her to be the last doll I would ever get, but because we were in a situation where she probably would be the last doll I would ever get. And I'm not gonna get into that because, again, that's a story for another day. Maybe I'll make a video on it. But we're trauma bonded now, me and Layla. We're like, yeah, I got you, you got me, we're together. However, that doesn't mean I use her very much. I'm gonna be honest, her curls scare me. Like, I am okay with taking care of curly doll hair. I think I've gotten to a point where, like, I'm good enough with doll hair that, like, I can take on a doll with curls. I just get scared every time I touch her curls. I'm like, oh no. Like, if there's one flyaway, I'm like, oh no, I ruined her curls. I really like Layla. I wish she had more of a personality. We're getting to a point where, like, most of my dolls at this point just don't really have a personality because I just didn't really care enough to give them one. But I don't know. I do really enjoy Layla. She's very much the, like, face of quarantine for me because I got her, like, right before lockdown started. So whenever I think of, like, you know, 2020 and, like, quarantine and lockdown, I think of Layla. I think I'm going to put her in maybe, like, high B tier. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is another case scenario of, like, what happened with Noelle and Scarlett, except I still can't get myself to connect with Celeste. I don't know what it is. I wanted Molly so bad, found Molly for a good price with a bunch of clothing. It's very similar to what happened with Noelle. You know, I was like, I can't pass up on this opportunity. Like, I'm not gonna get Molly with, like, all this clothing for this price again. So I got her and just never connected with her. Ever. She didn't even have, like, a middle or last name for, like, a good amount of time. She didn't even have a first name for, like, a good amount of time. I've been really trying to get a connection going with her, and I think it's somewhat working. I think I'm gonna have to put her in C tier, because she does have that specialness to her, because she's a doll I really wanted as a kid. So I don't really think she's, like, D tier worthy, but also I've just never been able to connect with her ever in my life, and it kind of sucks. Tegan. I love Tegan. Oh my goodness gracious me. When Corinne was announced, as soon as I saw the pictures on the leaks, I was like, oh my god, that doll is beautiful. Hand her to me. And I got her. I didn't think I would get her, but my friend was very nice one day, and we went to Indigo together, and she was like, do you want that doll? And I was like, yeah. She's just like, okay, pick that doll, and then pick one of the, like, Willy Wisher dolls. And I was like, what? And she's like, well, you want her, and so I'll get her for you. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. That's the same friend that gave me her Sage doll, by the way, so shout out to her. So that was very, very nice of her. All three of these dolls I did not pay for. They were just bought for me by my friend, which was very sweet. I love Tegan. I think she's so pretty. This photo of her is, like, one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. I know I said the same thing about Scarlett, but I just really love fall, so I think if you give me a good fall photo, I'm gonna just love it. She's the only doll out of, like, the group of dolls, I guess, that has a personality, because she is inspired by me in quarantine. So she's very much into like Minecraft YouTubers and stuff like that. And you know, I kind of like that little nod to like that time of my life. So I think because, I don't know, I do really, really like Tegan. I think I'm gonna have to put her in A tier. Lonnie, I don't know. Lonnie was a doll that, like, I didn't really want Lonnie. Like, I was fine if I didn't get Gwen back when, like, Tegan and Gwen were announced. But, you know, my friend obviously was nice enough to buy her for me. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Now I'm very glad I got her because she's a very, very cute doll. I thought she'd look too much like Emerson, but she doesn't. She looks like her own doll, which is very nice. I do really want to do more with Lonnie. I just haven't gotten around to it. Her eyes are also like foggy for some reason. I know that's like a thing with Gwen dolls for whatever reason, so that's kind of sad. I think I'm gonna put her in B tier though. And last but not least, my newest doll, Zaya. Now, I really do like Zaya. I think she's really cute. I like Covey as a doll. I think she's very, very cute. I do like that she's a theater kid because, you know, I'm also a theater kid. Well, I used to be a theater kid. I've kind of grown out of it now. I do really enjoy that part of her. I think it's very nice. I like when, like, American Girl makes a doll that has, like, something personality-wise or, like, looks-wise or, like, whatever-wise that I can connect with, because I think that's really cool. But she doesn't really have much of a personality or anything in my collection. Obviously, she's still very new, too, so I haven't really had much of a time to, like, connect with this doll. I'm probably gonna rank her pretty low, but only because of the fact that, like, you know, she's new. I think I'm going to put her in B tier. I think that's good. So that is our tier list. If you want to, for whatever reason, do this tier list of my dolls yourself, I will put the link in the description. You can make your own super fun dolls tier list, post it on Instagram, you know, tag me. I would love to know your opinion on my dolls. Just don't be too mean. That's gonna be it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Do all the little YouTuber-y things, you know, like, subscribe, whatever, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!